Kamaru Usman, UFC welterweight champion of the world, aka the Nigerian Nightmare. When you have a Nigerian father like mine, you know, former major in the army, and of course my mom, it's just ingrained in you. So in our house, mainly we speak pidgin, you know, unless we have to speak English. But you know, that's always been there. I've always felt that, and even before I left, the culture was ingrained in me. Before I, you know, left here in Nigeria to go to America. Yes, when you from a Nigerian household, there is only a couple of acceptable fields that you can go into. Either you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, or you're an engineer. You know, those are the only acceptable fields that you can go into as a Nigerian man. And you know, just growing up overseas, I was exposed to a bit more. Of course, I still had to face my studies because you will be a doctor one day. Yeah, but over time, I found the sport as an extracurricular activity on top of my studies, and I started to excel in that. And the better you do there, and then once your Nigerian parents realize that this can actually be sustainable, oh, my son, you can make money there. Okay, so then now you know, they accept it finally. So it took time, but you know, they finally got around to accepting it, and now it's okay for them. Well, the transition from being a wrestler to mixed martial arts was tough, but at the same time, as a mixed martial artist, you have to be able to do it: wrestling, boxing, kickboxing, and jiu-jitsu, all of the above. But wrestling out of all of those is the hardest one to learn. So once you already have that down, it makes the rest a little bit easier. So it makes that transition a lot faster, as opposed to being a boxer or trying to learn wrestling. That's gonna take a lot longer, it's gonna take a lot more time. Yes, absolutely. Each and every time I fight, you still feel that fear. That fear never leaves you. So it's not something that's completely natural to a person. I have a fight, I'm gonna fight, I'm gonna fight. You know, it's something that you have to get up to, you have to train for, you have to mentally prepare for. And the fear is there each and every time, but that's part of having courage, is being able to still get in there and still do it. For me, on my perspective, no, because I've always said it. I would rather have 2 Nigerians with belts than 1 Nigerian with 2 belts. You know, yes, I'm the type who I like to share. And so the more Nigerians I can get into the UFC that hold belts, the better. I don't want to keep all the belts for myself. I'm not that greedy or selfish. Well, that was something. Yes, of course, I've been kind of dominating my whole weight class. I've beaten pretty much almost everyone in the top 5. But, and a lot of people in that situation would ask, okay, is it time for you to move up to a different division? In most cases, yes, I would move up. But the next division above happens to be the middleweight division, where Israel Adesanya has the belt. And so as long as Israel has that belt, I have no plans to move up. But if Israel, something was to happen and Israel was not in the picture, then of course I'll move up. For me, just part of my outreach and some of the things that I want to do is I want it to be all of the above. I want to be able to give someone the opportunity to eventually follow those footsteps and say, hey, I want to be like these guys, walk in their footsteps and be a champion one day. And at the same time, we want to be able to aid and help who we can along the way. Paradian, Afrobeat. Based on your vibe, but I think fella, Eat In, Messi, International Vacation. comedy, lawyer friend, three-piece suit.